Hey guys, today we're going to talk about a very important concept in trading that you're going to come across quite a lot in your trading career, and that's the concept of failed trades. What do I mean by failed trades? Well, what I mean primarily is two types of failed trades. Either a trade where you've bought into a coin, into a meme coin, and you've sold too early, and those factors for selling could be numerous. And the second situation is where you've actually seen a coin and you've just failed to buy the coin, effectively failed to pull the trigger is what we call it in crypto parlance. So those two types of failed trades, you're going to come up often in your trading career, and you have to ensure that you can manage that with equanimity and without getting too emotional, because if you can't manage that, it's going to be very difficult for you to have a successful trading career. So in Based, we're going to teach you some of the tools and methods that we use to find coins, but we're also going to teach you and deal with situations where you've failed on a trade. It's been a failed trade for a number of reasons. And we're obviously going to, one, ensure that we can get that success rate up. And secondly, we're going to teach you the process of dealing with those failed situations, getting over them emotionally, and being able to put you in a position to capture your next trade and not dwell too much on what's happened in the past. So I'm going to share one example of a trade that I've done recently. As you can see on the screen, it's a coin called Memecoin. This coin came up probably about 6-7 days ago. It was launched on Pump Fun. And I managed to actually successfully buy the coin. You can see here that I managed to buy the coin at a 10,000 market cap, 10.9K, just under 11,000. And I sold it for a loss just probably about 5 minutes into the trade. The coin ended up dumping. It ended up going down initially under 10K. I sold it for about a 30% loss. Exited the coin, lost about 0.35 Solana on it. Initially had 1.57%, 1.6% of supply. Nevertheless, I exited the coin. And what happened? The coin ended up going absolutely insane, pretty much right after my sell. So I will just show you the potential essentially here, what happened. But this coin, as you can see, initially, it started pumping, and really once it started pumping, there was no end in sight. There was some dips to about 70, 80K, but pretty much from that point onwards, this coin just continued to go up and up and up and up. And within a day or so, it reached a all-time high of 13.4 million. Just to give you a perspective, that initial buy that you can see here at 10K, that was a 1,400x that I missed out on. And that 1.57% or 1.6%, just under there, at all-time high, would have been valued at about $160,000 to $200,000 for 1.35 Solana investment. So that's obviously very painful. Now, that's not by any stretch of the imagination the worst trade that I've made. I've had trades where the coin has actually gone up so much that even a couple of Solana investment could have turned into millions, into seven figures. You'll come across those situations. That's fundamentally what I want to tell you here. So failed trades, two types. You buy in, sell too early, or you fail to buy, and you've seen the coin, and obviously that coin shoots up afterwards, and you could have made a bunch of money. Doesn't matter how much money that is. Generally, the more money you could have made, the more painful it will be. Just recognize that these things will happen often. The more often you trade, the more often you will have failed trades. The key to success in this business is to move on from those trades, but also to analyze what happened and to effectively put yourself in a position to better yourself so you don't make the same mistake next time. So two things primarily that you need to focus on failed trades. One is not get emotionally attached to the trade, which means move on emotionally. That's fine. You can, for 5-10 minutes, you can kind of sit there and kind of, obviously there will be an emotional time period where you're like, damn it, I could have missed, I missed out on big gains, shouldn't have done that, why did I do that? You'll obviously hate yourself for a little bit, but primarily what you want to do is you want to move on emotionally as quickly as possible from that. And then once you're in that period, okay, I'm fine, I've moved on, that's fine, it's failed, let's move on, let's get the next one. You can sit back and you can analyze what happened. Why did you sell, or why did you fail to buy? Look at some wallets, look at some groups that you're in if you got that signal from a group, and fundamentally go through the process of seeing, is there anything that you could have done differently? Is there anything that you could have done to kind of salvage that trade so that you actually didn't sell, or that you actually bought the trade instead of failing to buy it? And, try to learn from it to actually improve yourself in the future. The only purpose of failed trades is for you to be able to take that learning lesson, learn from it, and become a better trader in the future. And that's what we're going to allow you to do in Based. We're going to go through these failed scenarios, how to deal with them, and we're also going to teach you some tools and methods to use to actually up your win rate and ensure that you fail as seldom as possible. So stick around, join the group, make sure you keep your notifications on, and we'll have more videos coming up to teach you how to miss out on failed trades, how to actually increase your win rate, and how to get to a place where you're constantly winning and constantly making money from meme coins.